Hello, welcome at the Dutchwatchdude. Today, a watch that I wanted to buy for quite a while, but I had my doubts. Why? Probably because the name of the watch and the way they used the brand. Lobinni Interlaken. Interlaken is Swiss. Lobinni is a name from the Italian part of Swiss, but the watch is as Chinese as been possible. So yeah, this Lobinni 1888 is, however, kind of special. At the first glance, you see a nice white dial. On 730, you see the second hand. If you look good, you see it is a high beat movement because you can see how smooth the second hand is moving. It has nicely adjusted indexes in a silvery color. It has a nice date window as well. The date window as the date is nicely in the middle of the window, so that is already a good thing. The hands, of course, I just picked the time to show you the watch that the hands are hiding each other, but I really like the hands because they are, how do you say it? They are open. I mean, they are not solid hands, but they are actually very nice, very well made, thin hands. But the best part is probably on the back. This watch comes with a micro-rotor movement. I probably overdid it a little bit, and I can better do it like this. As you can see, the micro-rotor. Micro-rotor is actually not something really special, but you hardly see them anywhere. Another thing that you don't see that often at Chinese watches is the way they decorate the movement. The complete movement is this time decorated and actually well done. There were some reviews from people who were complaining about fingerprints inside of the watch on the dial, and I did look at it very well, but I could not find anything. I cleaned it a few times before I looked for it because, yeah, if you see your own fingerprints in a reflection, that will not be nice if you make a review and start complaining about fingerprints while you are watching your own. There are a few things even on the back of the watch that are kind of funny. If you see how they spell 30 rubins in German, yeah, it's not really the German we use, and not even the German Swiss people use. It is just a huge misspell, and yeah, it doesn't matter because the watch is not Swiss. It doesn't have Swiss made on the dial or anything else, so I don't bother too much about it. But it is kind of something that was holding me back in making the decision, do I want the watch or not? Because it's not the cheapest watch on Aliexpress. You can hardly find it on any other place. This watch is including VAT 232 euros. It's quite expensive for a Chinese watch, but I think for what you get, it is actually really cheap. I mean, a movement decorated as nicely as this, with again a sapphire sandwich, because the dial is protected by a sapphire crystal. At the bottom is also sapphire. In the meanwhile, I did talk a lot. You can see the hands. They are actually visible right now. You can see the word Interlaken is getting visible through the hand just as we are talking. So you can see, yeah, the watch is really working. That are the little details that makes this watch so beautiful. It is, of course, a dress watch, and I think it's even water resistance for 50 meters, so you can walk in the rain. I actually did some work in my little goldfish pound and did put it on the water, and it doesn't do anything with a watch. So yeah, it is water resistant. The dial is white. In some light it will be a little bit silvery colored, but it is a real nice color. The second hand dial is just plain simple. It doesn't really show how smooth the movement is, because it is ticking with 28,800 beats per hour, and with a bigger second hand you will get a better impression about the smoothness of the movement. But yeah, most people are not staring at their watch all day. Well, I sometimes do, but I'm not normal. I'm a watch dude, so yeah, I have to. But it is just running really nice. The crown is also signed with an L, and probably the L stands for Lobinni. It's actually a nice shaped crown. Just one of those little things that makes this watch stand out from the crowd. What I also like is the casing, how it is made in almost two parts. It's just the stepped casing just gives it a little bit more style, class. I don't know. It's all about the feeling the watch gives you. It's quite thin. The watch, because of the micro-rotor, one of the benefits is they don't have to put the rotor on top of the movement, but they can actually place it inside the movement. The movement, and as you see, it is just very thin. I thought that on the smallest point it was 8.5 millimeters, so less than a centimeter. On the biggest part, that is if you measure on the from the center of the crystal to the bottom, it will be 1 millimeter, so it's still very thin, but it's not ultra thin. There are watches that are actually thinner. This one I have for 1.5 weeks. I did change, tada, here he is again, the strap. Why? Very simple. The strap that came with it was really bad quality. It has a nice clasp, butterfly buckle with the Lobinni logo, and it was nice, but the strap was just very cheap and it was not a pleasure to wear. I did try a few different straps, but I ended up with this steel bracelet that is actually suiting the watch very much. I don't think it is available with... No, I don't think it's available with a steel strap. But if you have a steel strap or you want to make it look great, you can buy one and you have a very nice upgrade. The watch is available in at least 4 styles. This is silver on white. You have silver on black. A black dial, silver casing. You have a rose gold casing with a white dial and a rose gold casing with a black dial. And of course the hands will be also different in that case, because with a gold casing you get gold hands, and if you have I just noticed that no, depending on the way you look at the hands, it is actually they change from silvery color to black. So how that is working, I just find out that I was looking at pictures from the seller, that I saw something different. Like on the video, you can see they are black, the hands, and yeah, it more or less stayed the same on the video, but in the real life, you see that they change into white, but that's another thing. There is a thingy if you buy this watch, because I bought it from a completely different store than I was planning, because this one was 232 euros. The Lobinni web shop sells the same watch for 50 euros more. And of course, I was a little afraid that I got probably a used watch or a watch without a box and things like that, but that was not the case. This watch came just in the display box with all paperwork and everything, really well packed, really well shipped. So yeah, it really is a good idea to shop around if you want to buy this watch, because it can save you a lot of money. It comes in a very nice display box. Normally you get just a simple paper box with a logo on it, a little cloth to clean your watch, and that's it. This one came in a quite big display box, protected by layers of foam that actually just fit the watch, with a nice window in it that you can see the dial. It was really well done, and it also had an outer box, so you can actually protect your display box. I was really surprised that still I paid a lot less than I was expecting. It was so well packed. Another thing is, if you live in the European Union, Aliexpress is not doing the VAT thingy if you buy something above 150 euros. So you can be lucky. Why? The import tax on watches is actually very low. So you get a discount because you have to pay VAT yourself, and the VAT you have to pay is a lot less than the discount you get at checking out. So keep in mind, if you buy this watch for like 500 euros, well, now I overdo it, for 300 euros, you get a discount from almost 40 euros, 20%, and you have to pay only like 10 euros VAT at customs. So keep that in mind. You actually get it even cheaper than advertised. But that is something maybe not work in all countries. Here in Holland it worked, because I have seen it a few times. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna wear it watch probably a lot, because I really like it. But if you've seen in my last reviews, I have quite a lot of new watches, and I have another one coming in, a very nice Orient. So I have to make a choice between the watches I'm gonna wear. So I'm preparing myself for a real hard time. In the meantime, if you like the channel, please follow us. If you like watches, follow my Instagram, Dutchwatchdude. If you like to be notified if I have a new video online, hit the bell, and I hope to see you soon. Any questions, leave them in the comments, and have an incredible day.